Hi everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. This is our first ever episode of Couples Conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited because my husband's back. Sipho
Back with the
Mbataliga
bag,
back in
with
the
the bag.
building. I'm so excited. It's been a long time. People have been thinking that this is my channel now.
Yeah, no, I'm back.
It's our channel, okay? And we are back together.
Yeah.
Dream team and stuff. Thank you guys. You've been showing us so much love on the previous videos, on the women's conversations. It's so encouraging when you watch, you like, you subscribe, and you also show that you watch the whole video by putting the 3 hearts when I say, like, please put 3 hearts at the end. You've been sharing it. We've been doing so well, and we are so grateful. Thank you for sharing your testimonies with us. My DMs, people have been sharing testimonies with me, and this is why we do it, right? So that people's lives are impacted, so that they're closer to God, and so that they can live better and be more inspired. So thank you so much for sharing every single video, liking it and commenting. And I have no doubt that you are going to love this one. Subscribers of Nuanced Insights and More, we got you guys. The Nevaris are in the building.
Judge.
We are so excited because the Nevaris, we've been trying to record since February. And it's finally happening.
Yeah.
This is our first video of the segment Couples Conversations, where we host couples and we just talk about people who are doing a godly marriage, how you got there, but also how you're doing it, right? But also no marriage is perfect.
Sure.
And people are like, kingdom marriage this, but it can seem glamorous without talking about the behind the scenes stuff. So welcome. We are so happy to have you. Please introduce yourselves. Tell the people where they can find you. What do you do? Who are you? That kind of thing.
You can start.
No, you can go first.
All right. Thank you guys, the Mbadari guys, for hosting us on your platform. I feel very honored. Like, we feel very important people. Like, there's something right we're doing in life.
Yeah.
So I'm JB Nevari, and this is my beautiful wife, Nduvho Nevari, affectionately known as Ball of Fire.
Yes.
So we've been married for 1 year, 1 year, 7 months. Got married in December 2021.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a podcaster, as Wipolo has said, Nuanced
Yes.
Insights and More. So you can get me on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Nuanced Insights and More. And very soon I'll be going on YouTube as well.
Yay!
Nice,
Finally.
nice.
Yeah. You can add any other thing that I've left.
No, you didn't leave out anything.
You are CAs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Couple goals.
Couple goals.
Easy talk about that. Talk about what we do. And
I was not gonna mention it.
Hey.
I don't know. Hello everyone. I'm Nduvho Nevari, married to JB. I think he has said most stuff. I don't know what else to say about me. About myself.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
we met you guys at church, and
Yeah.
you are the most hospitable couple ever.
Always hosting.
Always hosting.
Yeah.
Super loving, super friendly. They are our friends, so that's why this episode just feels like a conversation with friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome.
Cool. So how did you guys meet?
Yeah, I will meet. So there's not like a one day that we can pinpoint to say this is where we met, right?
Okay.
But so we are somewhat cousins.
Oh my God.
But it's like it's far.
Okay.
It is diluted. The cousinhood is diluted because it's from my mother's side,
Yeah.
and it's from her father's side, but from the from the father's mother. So it's running there by the mothers, not necessarily the fathers.
Okay.
So it's very far. So and then the church that they go to, their family goes to, that's where my father was being mentored.
Sure.
So we would always attend conferences. So we always saw each other, and we knew that we were relatives growing up, but we were never close.
Yeah.
You know, she was, beautiful girls are scary. Not scary, but you are shy to talk to them.
Yeah.
I was shy of talking to. She was just too nice growing up. I was just like out of my league.
So you did that thing of Bazwara.
Like we zwarand each other.
So cousin each other.
Cousin each other. Yeah, it's a cousins marry each other. Yeah, so I zwarand my Mzwara here.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and then we only got close when we came to varsity. Yeah, she was at UJ, I was at Wits, and then we were going to the same church. I would go to their church. They have a branch in Centurion. So I would go play there, and she would be singing. And that's when we started getting close.
Wait, you played an instrument?
Yeah, me, I used to play keys.
Really? Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yes, I'm extremely musical. Okay, I'm not that good, but I know.
Okay, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in the one? Ne? And how, if you do, how did you know that she was the one for you and he was the one for you? If you don't believe necessarily in there's this one that God has placed for you, how did you know that this was the person you were meant to marry?
Do you want me to go
No,
first?
yeah, go first.
Okay. First of all, I don't believe in the one.
Okay.
I don't believe that there is only one person
Yeah.
in this world that I would have to marry.
I get you.
Settle with. But I believe that there are multiple people I can work with. It's a dangerous statement, but it's the
So you
truth.
can go to Spain and there's someone there as well.
Yes, yes. It's the uncomfortable truth that people sometimes don't want to acknowledge.
Yeah.
You know. But how I knew that I could work with JB was because, number one, he's born again. Number two, this one, I rate highly.
Yeah.
Number two, not that number one is not important, but even if someone has number one but they don't have number two, I would not consider them.
Sure.
And that is character.
Sure.
Okay.
Character that is built on Christian values. A character that is willing, someone who has a character that is someone who's willing to change, someone who's willing to be molded by the word of God.
Sure.
I think that one I couldn't compromise on.
Yeah.
So when I met JB, I was like, okay, this is a good guy.
Yeah.
He loves God, but besides him loving God,
Yeah.
no, he has a good character. Like he does not think that he's always right. So he's always willing to work on his shortcomings. So that's how I knew that. Okay, I could work with this guy.
Sure. I love that.
Yeah.
Like teachability.
Yes.
Hey, that's an important trait. Hey? Awesome.
So I'm a proper guy.
Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree. I don't think there's the one particular
Soulmate.
person.
So there's no soulmate. Basically.
Yeah, it's not that thing. I'm not
Bone of my bone.
I'm not a proponent of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Nduvho is my rib or something. But figuratively, I can say she, but I still have all my ribs.
Yeah.
and this is the dangerous thing about the one.
Yeah.
The one, the concept of saying there is one particular person that you're supposed to work with is dangerous in the event that, okay, I meet Bolofire, we get married. Then I'm at work, going about my business, and then I meet someone whom we sort of like somewhat get along very well. And probably that person is that person that Nduvho was talking about, to say I can go to Spain and still meet someone who I'd be able to marry, right? So let's say I'm at work or somewhere else, and then I meet that person who we understand each other, we connect. I realize I can actually live with this one.
Yeah.
If then, and then probably let's say at home there, at my marriage, things are not going so well at that particular point in time. The deception with the ideology of the one is to then think that you probably married the wrong one.
Sure.
Here is the one now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then you are most likely to go through a very difficult period of thinking that your wife is not your rightful spouse. The one that you are currently vibing with is your rightful spouse, because you believe in this one particular person. But then if you then know that there's not one particular person, it's probably a kind of a person that you can work with.
Yeah.
You'll understand that no, this thing is almost bound to happen.
Sure.
So it does not mean I married wrong. It does not mean my wife is not good for me. It does not mean my wife is not for me. I just need to then have protective measures of how do I save my marriage from such a relationship.
Sure.
But if you think there's the one, no, you'll suffer. You'll get married 10 times.
Yeah.
That's what we think at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
So when you sort of knew that, okay, this could be, I wouldn't say, okay, let me just say a one out of the other people that would have suited you. How do you then propose to her to be like, okay, I want to make you my one?
Oh, sure. No, so this one, obviously we got close and I had not caught feelings when we were getting close. We were cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was
recognize
a
that
family
Yeah.
zone. This was it wasn't even a friendship zone.
And we're not saying we're not saying you must go out and marry cousins, guys. We are not promoting it.
Actually, my father at first was like, no, you guys can't be
guys,
together.
my dad was
Those are
like, no.
cousins.
Yeah.
No,
you
God,
can't work.
God had to fight for me. So obviously, I was not like attracted at first sight.
Yeah.
Like, this is my one. But then as we grew in conversation, grew in getting to learn each other, know each other, I'm like, but hang on. This is what I want.
Yeah.
This lady, what she is.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I want.
Sure.
She has a quiet spirit. She's calm.
Definitely.
She's smart. She's beautiful.
Sure.
Like all these things that I was looking for to say, no, you know what, I can actually build. Because I was not looking for a trophy. I was looking for a partner, a co-builder. And where I got that wisdom or that thinking at 20, I really don't know where I got it. But already at 20, I was looking for a life partner,
Yeah.
a co-builder, someone who's stable, not a trophy or a girlfriend person. I was looking for a life partner, and those were my lines to her. I want to marry you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to marry you.
At 20.
Yeah, like when I get my money right. Whenever I get my money right.
Even before 21.
Before 21, right, I was like, this is the one I want to marry.
That's
This one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I proposed. So it was my proposal was, because the first time I just told her that, hey, woman of God, I think I'm feeling you, but I'm not going to do anything about it.
Imagine.
So I was sowing a seed. I was sowing a seed because I didn't want to go in hard the first time and then get rejected. And say, what's next? So I just sowed a seed to say, I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you, but I don't think I should do anything about it.
Yeah.
What was she supposed to do with that information?
Just to know that I like her in that way. Yeah. And then some few months later, then I went back now with the real story. And then she said no. Yes. She said no. Yeah, she turned me down. And then I think 2 months later, I went back again. Yeah, and then this time it worked. So I make a sell idea.
Yo, why did you turn him down, Nduvho?
Sure. Eish.
You thought
That's a difficult question.
there were many ones, so you were still thinking, should I go to the one in
True,
Spain?
Yes, there was a list. And I was at the bottom.
Oh my God.
And then the Lord was like, I will make the last the first.
The first.
Then I was
The first.
Pakamisa small by small.
That is so hilarious.
No, actually, at first, okay, when he planted the seed, I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Why are you even telling me if you don't intend on doing anything with these feelings? You know, you could have kept it to yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so when he came back with the real story, I said no because I was not where he was.
Sure.
I was asking myself questions like, do I like him? If I do I like him enough for him to be my husband? Will I be able to give him the love that I would love to give my spouse?
Sure.
So it had a lot to do with me and not him. So I had to go back and pray about it and get my priorities right. What is what's the most important thing I'm looking for in a partner? Is it the goosebumps, the butterflies, everything? Because at that point I was asking myself about the feelings,
Sure.
not necessarily the core things that I would like my partner to have. So it involved a lot of prayer. It involved a lot of checking him out. Does he have the values, the qualities that I would like my partner to have?
Sure.
So yeah, he was just in a I don't want to say probation phase, because when you're in a probation, you are already employed. Because I had not said yes.
Interviews.
Interview stage.
Psychometric test.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still watching him closely. I was still watching him closely.
Cloud.
So that's why I said no. I didn't want to rush it, because my thing was, then the guy that I date, or the next guy that I date, or no, I'm revealing my things.
Reveal.
What did I reveal? Yeah, so the year before I had broken up with my ex, right? So I was like, the next guy I date has to be my husband.
Sure.
So I'm going to be thorough in how I approach this thing. So that's why I couldn't just say yes.
Yeah.
I had to take my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I like that intentionality in dating, because I'm not against dating if you're doing it God's way, because you have to date someone in order to get married, right? And usually people are like, oh no, don't date. But I don't believe in that. Date and check that, be thorough in does this person have my values or not? And if not, you can leave that relationship and then move on to a next one, obviously with caution
Yes.
and prayerfully and whatever. But I'm for that. As long as you are dating in a godly way and you are checking someone out, then it can work or it cannot work. We don't have to always be like, the person I date has to be my husband. We can hope for it, but check them out. And if it does not work, you don't have to force things.
True.
You just move on, right? But now you get married, you have wedding of the year, beautiful
wow.
wedding. How do you then manage? Okay, as two CAs, right? We expect that both of you are great in terms of money.
Say lie. Wrong.
How do you then manage finances in marriage? Is there one who's like a super spender and the other who's a super saver? Or are you both savers and you miss out on nice life things and, getaways and stuff? What does managing finances look like?
Let me first best a baboon.
Yeah, go
This
first.
what I'm saying. And it's a I understand why, people would think so.
Yeah.
To say two CAs definitely know how to use money. No, wrong. the discipline of studying accounting versus the discipline of stewarding money
Sure.
are just worlds apart.
Sure.
Absolutely. I mean, there by accounting, I'm learning what is an asset, learning what is a liability, how to prepare
Deferred
financial
tax.
statement, deferred tax. I probably don't even have deferred tax in my life right now. I'm learning finance, I'm learning management. Obviously, I can borrow principles and bring them over, but learning accounting science does not mean you're good with money. We're not necessarily learning how to do well with money. Yeah, and I think there's really a lot of us who are CAs, but money is trapping us like nobody's business.
Sure.
Yes, you find a CA going into a very, very bad deal
Sure.
with very ridiculous interest rates that absolutely make no sense.
Sure.
Because those are two, they are 2 worlds apart on the ring. So I think in our marriage, after getting married, the wake up call was on my side. Yeah, to say, no, this money thing, no, I'm not so good. Yeah, I'm not so good. Because, you see, a person of my personality, we are, I don't want to say spontaneous, but
Yeah.
it takes a lot to structure my life in a I don't want to say rigid, like a repetitive, disciplined way, like a patterned way. We usually wing it as it comes. Like what's the next best thing to do? Then we do that. What's the next fun thing to do?
Yeah.
Like is this bubbly? And for money, that doesn't work quite well. And yeah, so yeah, obviously I managed to lobola. We managed to do a wedding. So those two things grounded me because I had a goal. But then outside of that, if I go to church and there's a building fund, and I probably have 3K left to give, I'm probably gonna give all of it and not think what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then after that, I go somewhere, and then I see something I want to buy it. I'm probably gonna buy it. Something. So I'm looking for a word, but I'm the destructive one around financing.
Yes.
I'm not so much of a hectic spender, but I'm just not so much structured. So I've not taken leadership in that area.
Yeah.
Because she's much more disciplined. She plans well. Like just generally in her life.
Yes.
She's much more thoughtful, very patterned. So she takes leadership in that area.
Sure.
I can go now and give 10,000 to someone we don't even know.
I relate to that.
I'm sowing a seed. 10,000 gone.
I always tell people, I'm like, babe, it's gonna come back. You're gonna see, it's gonna come back even more.
It's gonna come back.
And it is, but it's like we didn't plan for it.
We
So
need to plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't take leadership in that area. I don't. But obviously, as a family, we are both leaders, but I'm leading the family.
Sure.
I'm leading this co-leader.
Yes.
So I will usually speak and like obviously direct to say this is what we're this is where we're going, this is what we need to get and all of that. We discuss it out, then we agree, then we move forward. Then the administration of how those finances are put together and everything, she will administrate that, which includes my salary. Like last month, she asked me for my bank statements. That was the most uncomfortable thing. But it was necessary.
Yeah.
I had to be disciplined because I'm not. So that's my take.
Yeah.
You can end.
I think you said everything. Yeah, as someone who has been entrusted with this responsibility, on my side, I just have to make sure that I don't come to him with final decisions, although I'm the one managing.
I love that.
I'll put a thought on the table as a suggestion. Oh, I was thinking that we could do 1, 2, 3. What do you think? Because in as much as I am, he has allowed me to do this. His money is also involved. So he also has to buy into whatever I'm suggesting.
Sure.
So yeah, that's how we make it work.
Sure. I love that. I love that.
And then when you came to the marriage, obviously you came in as individuals and you all had your own dreams and aspirations for life. And then now you got married, you're a unit. How do you then, what does pursuing your own individual dreams and aspirations and your collective dreams and aspirations look like in your marriage?
Yeah, you can start.
I don't mind you starting. I'm allowing you to start.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, look, how I conceptualize that is to say, it might sound poetic, but it's not. But her dream is my dream.
Sure.
Her dream, it works for me. I'm happier, I'm better when she's happier and better.
Sure.
Right?
I love that.
So, I don't take the back seat when it pertains to what she's individually passionate about. So when she throws something that she wants to do, so if she comes, okay, hey, I want to study that thing, or hey, I want to do that. It then becomes a, number one, I allow it to become now a family goal, right? It's now our thing. We are doing this. Then my responsibility now, where I come in, my part is to then say, I need to then actively make sure that I tailor the dynamics of our family to be conducive for what she is doing. So it's now a family goal, but she's the striker. She's the striker. She's good. She's the one who's shooting. So I just need to make sure that the family dynamics allow for that. The family is conducive for that. She's healthy to go for that thing. She's the striker. I'm actively involved. I'm making it work, because if I don't make it work, she will not be a good striker. She will not be an effective striker. So it becomes a family goal, but she's leading in that department. Same for me as well. Like, for example, a good example is the podcast. I'm the podcaster, but it's our thing. She is extremely involved in that podcast. Extremely involved in the podcast, but she's not the striker. I'm the striker. And she makes the home conducive for me to do the podcast. What does that look like? If I'm buying my own equipment, the finances must be aligned for me to be able to buy the equipment. It's not my equipment, it's our equipment. If it means we'll have to host people in the home to record sessions, it means that she's cooking for the people, because I mean, we love hosting people, making them comfortable, then we host. So the nuanced insights and more is our thing, but I'm the striker in that environment.
Sure,
that's very
I
nice.
love that. I love that.
I love it too, yeah. Making the environment conducive for each
Yeah.
other.
Sure.
But what I've also noticed is that for him to easily buy into what I want, I have to constantly communicate my thoughts and whatever is happening in my head. So we know that change is a constant thing in life. Like, that's one thing that you are guaranteed is gonna happen. So if you don't communicate what your goals are, because they change depending on the seasons you are in, it can create conflict sometimes.
Yeah.
So what I do is that I constantly tell him what I'm thinking of.
Sure.
So whenever I decide to pursue that thing, he would have had that thing multiple times. So, because imagine you are going to your partner, you say, baby, I want to do this course. And then they're hearing it for the first time. They will ask you, I didn't know about this. When did you make this decision? Like, they start to ask you questions, but if you communicate whatever is happening in your head, it makes it even easier for them to welcome you pursuing that particular goal when you've reached that stage of wanting to pursue it. So that has helped us a lot in our marriage, constantly communicating our goals or our thoughts until we get to a point where we are ready to pursue them.
That's actually a very powerful point. That's it. Because I think it's not nice, okay, at least for me. It's not nice when a goal, or you are telling me at execution stage that this is what I've decided to execute. You see, there is going to be difficult for me to make the environment conducive. Because I feel this thing now is no longer our thing. Because I feel like I did not contribute. You're just telling. So whatever I say does not matter. And my thinking has been wired to say that it's our thing. Even though you are the one who's going to be studying, but we are studying. We are notching ourselves a level up. So I feel like my opinion has the right to matter. It's not necessarily a privilege. It's somewhat a right, and that might be toxic, but that's how that's how managing. It's my right. It's really my right. So we always try to include each other at conceptualization
I love
stage.
that. I
So
love
yes,
that.
I'm thinking of a podcast. I don't even have a name as yet.
Yes.
I'm thinking of a podcast. I love
But-
talking. Then we develop it together. Yeah.
I love that. I love that because you've become one, right? So whatever it is, and marriage is actually the becoming. Like, yes, we've become one now that we are married, but we are constantly becoming one. As I continue to dream, this becomes our dream. It's no longer I do my own thing, you do your own thing, and then we just meet when we get back home. So I love that whatever it is the other one wants to do, we communicate it constantly so that the home environment can be conducive to make sure that this dream becomes a reality.
Yeah.
Because people think that as you get married, like your life stops. I think the times have changed and people now know that, you know, it doesn't stop. But I feel like life can, like new dreams can come from the fact that you guys are married. Like two people are better than one, you know? That's what the word of God says. And even when you have these individual goals, in marriage, they must even have more speed and more... they must come alive even quicker because it's two brains, two resources, two, like everything has been multiplied.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so let's talk about conflict and resolution, right? So you mentioned, Nduvho, that like sometimes like that the dreams, it can cause conflict when you just mention it in execution stage. But there are many things that can cause conflict. And like many things, having different personalities, lifestyle stuff, like there's just a lot that can cause conflict. And the way that you resolve it, the way that you choose to speak about it, because conflict just in and of itself just means two differing opinions. So how you deal with those two differing opinions can result in you guys either being more connected or more apart. So how do you guys deal with when you are butting heads? And have you ever been in a gridlock where you just cannot agree?
Can I start?
Oh, well,
This
okay.
time? You want me to start? You can
Go
start.
ahead.
You
Go
can start.
ahead. It's fine.
Okay, so I conflict is built into marriage. Yeah, it's built into marriage. If the marriage does not have conflict resolution or so I think there's something wrong. But
same.
I'm only just married for 1 year. I might be wrong. But this 1 year that I've seen, it's fire. I remember this one time, I was like, people who say the streets are hectic are not married. But yeah, so I think probably what every married person should learn,
Sure.
they should learn how to negotiate. The art of negotiating. Here we negotiate ideas. We negotiate difference in opinions. We don't impose our correctness.
Sure.
Even if I know I am absolutely correct, I don't give it as a non-negotiable. Those things that are non-negotiable, we should have agreed on them before getting married. To say that you are a believer, it's that this is a non-negotiable. But once we enter a marriage and we're administrating our marriage, no, we negotiate. No, there's that was the indoor. I mean, now whose color is tattooed or something. No. That is destructive. It's destructive. This is a fully functional brain that is brilliant in its own right and deserves the right to be heard in a conducive environment. So we negotiate. So we talk our conflicts out. We talk our conflicts out. I think people who don't want to talk will struggle in marriage. This thing you have to talk. You have to talk. And I really and as you talk, you need to grow in becoming an environment that even let's be bare. So you need to be able to even stomach. Because I'm not always thinking good thoughts. So the skill that both of us must learn. I must learn the skill of communicating my terrible thoughts without necessarily injuring her. And she needs to be able to receive the bad things I'm thinking at that moment without thinking I'm checking out of this marriage. But also my presentation also matters. I must not just come here, I'm tired of this marriage. I'm tired of this marriage.
PowerPoint.
No, it's not right. tried, but I must really tell you that
Yeah.
you know what? Today I really felt like this marriage.
Ziakal.
This
Yeah.
marriage,
It's showing me
it's
flames.
over this one.
Yeah.
You know, in a light way.
Yeah.
But we negotiate. We've only had one case where our pastors had to come in.
Yeah.
Right? And they were not coming in because we were not agreeing. They were coming in because we were. I was just not getting it. Yeah, it was not landing. But I listened to everything. I heard everything. I could articulate everything she was saying. But there was just a switch I was not getting just because of a life transition.
Yeah.
And she did not go to our pastor because I'm not listening.
Yeah.
She just went to say, I think if you say it to him,
Yeah.
he will understand it better.
Sure.
And I did.
I love that.
You know, but every other conflict we've gone through, we've never involved our parents with conflict. Not that it's a thing we don't do.
Yeah.
We just have not had to.
Yeah.
Because we try by all means to negotiate and defeat each other
Yeah.
and settle. Then life goes forward.
I think it takes so much humility to receive from your pastor as the man of your household. Like to then say, okay, now we are involving a third party and try and it's hard, hey?
If he doesn't listen to his pastor, don't marry him.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Please
true.
run.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
If he only listens to you and you think that's like so romantic, it's actually a red flag.
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
It really is. And I would like to add that at first I didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that I didn't want to talk. I just didn't prefer to confront issues when they are happening.
Yeah.
I would want some space, think about it, put my points to PowerPoint, slides, get my points right, and then come to him.
Yeah.
And he was totally different. He is different from that. He prefers that if there is a conflict, let's sit down now and talk about it now. Because it's a way. So, for example, it would take about 3 days to resolve one issue because I would need time. Whereas he wants to resolve the issue now.
Yeah.
So he would always say, you are making this issue to steal maybe 2 days of happiness from us because it probably would have taken us 1 day to resolve this issue. And yeah, I had to heed to his style because it was more beneficial for the marriage.
Yeah.
But also what has worked for us is that when we fight, we don't character assassinate each other. So for example, if he didn't speak to me nicely,
Yeah.
I won't
That
say
has been my struggle.
I won't say you don't speak to me nicely.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't talk. JB, you can't talk.
You can't talk. I'll say, I feel like when you said 1, 2, 3, 4, you didn't speak to me nicely.
Sure.
So I don't go for his character, but his actions.
Sure.
So that he can see that I am not fighting him. I'm fighting what he's doing, which can change, by the way. So that has really helped us a lot.
Sure.
And if I can add on that one, just keep adding. But this is nice. So my concern was that, guys, 99% of the fights happening in my marriage are started by me. It's not a pride statement. It's not a pride. I don't pride myself in that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm the sort of like the problem maker. Ball of fire. Anyone who's angry with ball of fire in this world, I don't know what ball of fire has done to them. It's just harmless. Harmless.
Yeah.
So I'm usually the problematic one, quite honestly. And I'm trying to change my ways. But my issue was that most of the time, I've done something that makes her sad.
Sure.
Right? Or she low-key angry. Something I said or something I did and all of that. Her keeping it for the next 3 days to get her thoughts together. Yes, it might be correct. It might work in the sense that when she comes well prepared, and then we solve it. But I don't like what it's doing to her in that 3 days.
Yeah.
Why are you feeling all this? You are having monologues alone. This thing is beating you down for 3
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Whereas you can just pause for the next 10 minutes and then we talk about it. Then actually after a conflict, you have to have there's a recovery time.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a recovery time where
Very important,
there's some
that one.
awkwardness. Are we fine? Are we not fine? Should we talk to each other? Should we not? Then we go through that. And then by tomorrow, all is
fine.
well. We're moving forward. But this thing of packing stuff is dangerous because it's eating you up. It's eating you. Me, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You are suffering.
5 business days.
5 business days, imagine. That's a lot of value lost. So that's what I just wanted to say. It's eating you up. And I don't think that's healthy.
Sure.
It's not.
It's not.
No, that's so
love that.
profound, guys. That's so profound. And obviously, like when you're married, you go through this conflict. You guys are working professionals. Your jobs are very demanding. And sometimes those kind of things can eat into bedroom time.
I knew where this was going.
My brother, yes.
Yeah, you're fighting. You're going to work. You're working overtime. So how do you guys then continue with that fire?
My brother.
Because bedroom time is
My brother.
probably one of the most important things in marriage.
You see,
So how do you keep that fire burning?
I got to learn that if 5 minutes before we go to sleep,
Yeah.
I say something in an unnice way,
Yeah. It's over.
it's over. That night, there's no action. It's over. So 10 minutes before sleeping, I need to make sure I say all the
You
correct
need to
stuff.
you need to practice and rehearse.
To make sure nothing disturbs my plate. But you see how we keep that fire. You see, so this way in that area. Me personally, in this marriage, I'm still developing in that.
Sure.
I'm still developing in that. And at first, when I got to realize this, I was like, this is hard. But then I was like, okay, wait, I'm young. This is the first time I'm getting married. This is our first year in marriage. So we will grow in this thing. What works for her? She, that whole book of love languages.
Yeah.
What works for her is not what works for me.
Yeah. Sure.
It's not.
Yeah.
So I'm learning how to, because I know when I get those things right, the fire is gonna. My brother is gonna be a flame.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a flame every day. Do my best currently, but I know that's one area where we are still going to grow in, because I think, and that's I don't know if I should say this, but that's one of the protection of marriage. If especially if you try to enter into it safely.
Yeah.
I'm looking for words.
Why are you scared to say it? It's
No. I'm looking for words too.
Yes.
Because I don't want to sound judgmental around this. But
Yeah.
to say that one of the beauties about having gotten married innocent is that you don't have pressure to compete with previous experiences.
Sure.
So it gives you time to get things right.
Yeah.
Without the pressure of I must quickly perform to outdo the previous commanders, specifically in this area. So I've given myself that, I've taken that freedom from marriage to say, okay, no, in this area, we are going to grow and we're going to get it right. Right now, I can't tell you 5 tips to get your fire burning.
Yeah.
Because I'm still learning to put the fire together.
Yeah.
Sure.
And boy, it will burn. It will burn.
I love that.
Yeah. I love the fact that he addressed the bedroom because I'm not going to touch on that. I just want to say that for me, it's understanding what translates as love
Sure.
to your partner. That's what keeps the fire burning. And it's different from person to person. That's why you have to be very attentive you have to even ask, what do you like? What makes you happy? What makes you feel loved? You know, we know that sex is one of those things that, you know,
It's a love language.
yes, sex is a love language.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not the only language. So it's like you have a fire, ne?
Yeah.
With wood.
It's like English in the languages.
Wow. Sex is one of the wood.
Yeah.
But if it's standing alone,
Sure.
the
Yeah.
fire will burn out.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
will die out eventually. So there are other things that support the fire. For
Yeah.
example,
That's a good point.
me, I want physical touch.
Yeah.
I want physical touch. I love gifts. You know, so those are some of the things that you can do to keep the fire burning.
Yeah.
Like it also, so if, for example, his love language is sex, and he sometimes buys me gifts, he touches me, I feel loved. That's translating as love to me.
Yeah.
When we get to the bedroom, I don't even hesitate to initiate because we are meeting each other
Yeah.
at our
Yeah.
point of love languages. I know
Yeah.
people don't love this thing of love languages, but it's a thing.
It
guys.
works, eh?
No,
Even
it works.
God
It
has a
works.
love language,
Yeah.
which is obedience.
Sure.
So yeah, this is a thing. So I think you just have to understand what works for your partner.
Yeah.
What do they want? If you don't know, ask. Because also these love languages change depending
Yeah.
on the season.
That's
you're at.
true.
Yeah.
So you must constantly check in. Hey, are we still fine? Are you okay? Do you need anything? What can I do to love you better? Yeah.
Sure, that's so good.
Yeah.
I want to address the issue of submission and headship, right? It's a tricky one because sometimes people can make it feel like women just don't want it anymore, right? It's like, I don't want to be submissive. What does that even mean? What does that even look like, right? But you guys addressed it in the area of finance when JB said, I am the leader of the household, but I delegate because I know this is not my strength.
Yes.
Right? Whereas someone else who, for me, interprets submission wrong in my own interpretation of it, would say, I'm the head of this household, which means I must lead every single area, even if I'm not good. If I'm the husband, I must lead it, right? So what do you believe submission and headship are, and how does it translate in your marriage?
You can go first.
No. The thing is, I have 3 things that I've tried to pin together. But, I mean, one thing I learned from their family before she just exited, I think they still do it now. Grace was Munenyiwa, now she's Nevaris. She exited. She exited and cows entered. The children lead when it comes to vacations.
Sure.
They decide where to go,
Sure.
how many days to go, and the
Sure.
parents pay,
Sure.
and the family works well.
Sure.
So that's I for me that was like a good leadership trait from the parents. So it goes to what you just mentioned now. Leadership does not mean that you have to be the one making all the decisions.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes leadership is displayed in trust. Trusting someone who's more capable to take leadership in that area is a sign of leadership. You know? So for me, headship speaks of responsibility, ultimate responsibility. To say, ultimately, who answers to this?
Sure.
Ultimately, who answers to this? And if we can go even a little further on that, many people would think it's unfair on men, but the design of God is actually that ultimately the man is responsible for the texture and the color of this marriage.
Yeah.
The color. Don't laugh. Headship speaks of responsibility.
Yeah.
Let's not see headship as prominence.
Yeah.
Let's see it as a responsibility. Say, ultimately, you take accountability of this thing. So the well-being of your wife, the well-being of your children, the well-being of everyone who's connected to this marriage. Ultimately, as the man, you have been delegated by God to make sure that your marriage is a positive contributor to all these ecosystems around your marriage. That's what the headship should speak to. It must not speak to prominence. It must speak to responsibility, a sense of responsibility, right? And then, for me, submission.
Yeah.
Because the verse above, Ephesians 5:22, which speaks to wives, submit to your husbands. The verse above speaks to submitting to one another. For me, submission, I feel like the fiber of submission is service. That the it's not bondagehood, it's service. It's dedicated service. So that I am at your service. When I'm submitted to a vision, when I'm submitted to a cause, what I'm saying in layman's terms is that I'm availing what I am and what I have to be of service to this ideal. So when I submit myself to my wife, I'm saying that I'm availing myself to serve.
Yeah.
To serve you and to serve your interest and to serve your progress, to serve your well-being. And the same goes for her. But ultimately, in this ecosystem called a marriage, since I've been given the final the top layer of responsibility, you are then serving in that ecosystem. But we're serving together, but you then submit because I have been given headship of this thing. But we're all serving. Then it's just a delegation of roles. But then for me, the golden thread across those two ideas that I've just explained is co-leadership. Co-leadership. We are both leaders. We're both leaders because the kingdom model of leadership is servanthood. There's no leadership without serving. So the fact that she comes here, you see how much she submits to this marriage, to my headship, is a sign of a leadership. Not a weakness.
That's so good.
It's a sign of her leadership. It's bad leaders who are failing to submit in marriage. Good leaders, good female leaders submit in marriage because they understand that submission is servanthood and servanthood is leadership. And
That's so good.
as the authority of this household, I'm leading a leader. And leaders make the best followers, actually.
That's true.
Leaders, you must...
Because you want to follow as well.
You want a follower. Leaders make the best followers. Like, if you are leading a team of leaders and they're following you, you will not struggle. Because they understand what it takes for you to be doing what you're doing. So I think let's probably fix the service element. Let's fix the responsibility element. Let's fix the leadership element. This kicking and screaming that's happening around submission will stop today.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
If I had that boom, 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 this was that moment. That moment.
I was waiting for this one. I was waiting for the entire show.
Waiting for this question. That's so you can take out. Please, we need a book on submission from you.
But those are my thoughts. You can add tips.
Okay, no. I think the reason why women nowadays don't want to submit is because of what they saw with our grandmothers, like what our grandfathers used to do to our grandmothers, or what was the typical definition of submission in marriage. So I think women have gotten to a point where they resent that, and let's just say they did what they did. Maybe because they didn't know Christ or they didn't know better. But because we are at the stage where we are exposed to a lot of knowledge, for me, submission looks like consenting to or agreeing to. So not thinking of... thinking highly of someone, right?
Oh, wow.
And allowing yourself to be under authority. You heard what he said, that God has entrusted him with the responsibility of leading the family. So it's allowing yourself to be under authority, but at the same time understanding that this authority you are under is not meant to suppress your voice.
Sure.
Doesn't mean that your thoughts don't matter, your opinions don't matter. That's where you learn the skill of negotiating. You bring a thought on the table and you talk about it.
Sure.
You agree on it and then you move. For me, that's what submitting to one another looks like.
Sure.
Doing something that you have both agreed on. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We've run out of time, which makes me so sad because this was so good.
No, we
but
enjoyed
we're
it.
gonna play a little game
Okay.
just to end it off. I feel like, this was so packed.
Yeah.
And people at home, whether you're single or you're married, you can learn a lot from this, right? Because having a great marriage starts in your singleness. How you steward that, then God can trust you with more, right? Thank you guys. This was fun. This was exactly the way that I expected it to go, and even better,
Thoroughly
right?
enjoyed it.
Okay, so first question is, who's more likely to make the other person late?
Late.
Yeah.
Oh. It's not even a most likely. It's who's doing it.
Yeah.
Who's making the other person late.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
That's always me.
Yeah, but the makeup is always on fleek, so girl. Okay, yes. Second question, who's more likely to resign from their job and just move abroad? No plan, no nothing.
No one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like JB's more likely.
No.
South
He
Africa.
would quit his job but not move
Stay in
abroad.
South-
Really?
Yeah, South Africa.
Okay,
South
okay,
Africa.
okay.
It's not like we had opportunities to go abroad.
Yeah.
Yes,
We did.
you were like, no.
We
Patriotic.
turned them down.
No, South Africa. I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, bruh.
Yeah, this is home.
Yeah.
Okay, next, who's more likely to blow R1 million?
JB!
Okay.
I'm gonna be sowing seeds, man. Sowing seeds
It'll come
everywhere.
back. It'll come back.
Goddamn.
Who's more likely to become an influencer?
JB.
Awesome. That was our short
Yeah.
game. So, guys, thank you so much for reaching this far. Like, if you've reached this far, you are a real one. We love you so much. Please do not forget to subscribe to Nuanced Insights and More on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, like wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe there. Please share this video with a single person, someone who's married. Please comment the part that stood out to you. And don't forget to subscribe and like. Babe, do you have anything else to say?
Nah, all good. All good.
Okay, tell them you love them.
No, I love you guys. Hey, wow.
Comfortable.
Wow.
Thank you guys for watching. Peace.